Hey, everybody. Once again, you are tuned in to Twid Radio. If you haven't been told or just didn't know, Twid stands for that's what I do. And as long as you're breathing, I guarantee you're doing something. We're bringing you the real, raw, the relevant tackling news, dating, marriage, sports, and more. This is where the black community connects, grows, and thrives. That's what we do in our tribe, circles, and communities. So hit that subscribe button and join the Twitter revolution today. Good evening, family. Once again, you are tuned in to Twitter Radio. Okay, family, let's get into it. Tonight's show is titled, unfortunately, Saudi Arabia abolishes slavery. I mean, it's 2025. You would think that, but let's check it out. The things you learn.
Arabia has finally abolished the kafala system, the system also known as modern-day slavery. We've covered the kafala system and how it has impacted especially African people, workers that traveled to the Middle East to work, and how they have been held hostage in those countries because
she says, I don't want to lose my life. I want to go home. Now listen, she's coming from an African country to try and do better for herself. But the thing you got to understand about migrating from one place to another, and listen, Africans wouldn't have to do this if the European wasn't over in their land waging war, causing all kinds of confusion, and then go in with soldiers and an army to say, well, we want to bring about democracy, when it's really we want to destabilize, this country for its resources. So she said, I don't want to lose my life. I want to go home. See, everywhere we go, we're uncomfortable as melanated people because the world has been programmed that we are the enemy, even though we are not going across the country, across the whole world, the continent, to wage war. They are. And many people believe this. They believe that an army, especially the United States, is programmed. Hey, we're going to, help. We're going to, no, you're not going to help. You're sent in by a corporation to dismantle or topple a government. Same thing they're doing in Venezuela, so that we can now extract those resources.
Because of the kafala system, and the way they're being treated is inhumane, because quite literally, because of the system, the employers are allowed ownership over those employees, and they will not allow them to leave their jobs even if they wanted to, unless they give you permission. You're not going anywhere. They will send you to jail because they have your passport. As soon as you get to that country,
this is pretty much like being in prison. It's the equivalent of being in prison in the United States. In the United States, you're free. You can no longer be held as a slave unless you commit a crime and you become a criminal. Now we can put you in prison and you can work literally for free. Same thing. Just they're just doing it in another country. That's all. Saudi Arabia. And keep in mind, Saudi Arabia, Muslims, keep in mind, people, what's going on in Gaza and Palestine. Make no mistake, the Palestinians are Arabs who once, and not even once, they still practice anti-black racism over in Palestine against the Negro, against the Black Jew. So that's why it's not in our best interest to feel sorry for what's going on with them, because family, if they were in power just like the Jews, they'd be doing the same thing to us that these are their counterparts. Saudi Arabia, they're all the same blood, Same kin. They may have some infighting, but they're the same people.
Country, they take your passport and you are under their mercy. If they don't want to pay you, you have no protection. If they want to keep you and they don't want you to leave the country or even the job, they have every right because you belong to them according to the system. And because of that, a lot of people have either lost their lives, their ability to walk, they have gone through.
Now, mind you, it says um, black people will no longer be enslaved in Saudi Arabia. Now, that's what it's saying, but that doesn't mean that they're no longer going. They'll just try to find, not try, they'll find a different way to enslave them.
So much because either A, someone unalived them there when they're trying to run away because they're criminals, or two, they try to quit, and since they don't have any documentation, they'll be sent to jail and they will live their lives in prison in an inhumane way, or three, they will take their lives because they don't see any other way out because they can't go back to their home country. They have no documentation and no one there will stand up for you. Or
So just think about this. They go to another country looking for work. They get to that country, Saudi Arabia. I mean, Saudi Arabia, by way of the kafala system, the slave system, says, okay, you're over here now. Okay, I'm poor, I'm broke, I'm coming over here to look for work. Now they tell me, we're gonna hold you hostage. We're gonna take your passport. You can't. You know how wicked that is. We're gonna take your passport, which is your identity, which is the way you move abroad. From it's like uh, your driver's license, the way that you identify who you are. Well, if somebody takes that and you're in their country, now guess what? Automatically you have to become a slave to them. They've got the military. They've got, you saw those are mostly women. You see how wicked that is? That's why what's happening in Palestine is happening, you know what I'm saying? Because the sins of the fathers, the ones that came before them, they didn't just start doing this. This is 2025. They've been doing this. Read the Black Holocaust. These people been doing this.
Be on your side because the kafala system protects their employers. And here are some of examples of those horror stories. About 85 Kenyan women have died in just 3 months in Saudi Arabia and other parts of the Gulf. Truly alarming. And what's worse is all of the reports show that they died because of cardiac arrest. All of them. 85 women.
Cardiac arrest, layman terms, heart attack. Their heart just failed them. Their heart just failed them. Simple. From the duress of feeling like, all hope is lost. Which in their case, can you blame them? You're in a country where somebody has stolen or taken your identity. You can't go back home if you wanted to. Now they enslaved you and made you work. Yeah, black people over here, we know a lot about that.
In the same region die from the same cause. And it's not anything that is contagious. They didn't get the monkeypox, they didn't get COVID. It was cardiac arrest. They truly want us to believe that's the case. I don't believe it. And I know a lot of people, most people won't buy this, but our governments will be quiet about it. So they'll continue. They'll continue abusing their employees. They'll continue abusing our girls and they'll continue sending us their bodies and nothing is going to happen to them. Our people went through a lot because of this kafala system, and Saudi Arabia abolishing it hopefully is going to protect those workers that left their home country.
Okay, family. So as you can see, he said hopefully. And that's all you can say, is hopefully. Because who knows? Who knows? These devils, they're not going to stop. They're going to find another way. They're not going to stop, family, until some men decide to get up and you know what I'm saying, put a little work in. They're gonna have to put a little work in, simple as that. Otherwise, it's gonna be the same old, same old. The family, you've been tuned in, and we just pray that the Most High destroy these people. You gotta pray, talk to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you call, he won't have to come because he's already there. Tell him what you want. Be a friend of him, he'll be a friend of you. Be loyal to him, he'll be loyal to you. So he can destroy these people. Family, you've been tuned into Twid Radio, Twid Sense, but that's what I do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, all praises to the Most High. Peace.